Well, hello. Welcome to a Fox 411 and Kiss Country neighborhood news. Jay couldn't join us today, so I get the pleasure of interviewing the fine people that we have that you can see, and maybe you can hear in just a little bit too if you're on the podcast as well. This is all brought to you by CG Public Health. They're located out by Hobby Lobby at the Plaza West Shopping Center, or you can go to cghealth.com for more information. All right, I have Amber Juhl. She is the conservation assistant at the what is it? It's called the let's get this all up here. The Cerro County Soil and Water Conservation District. And Amber, welcome. You have some guests. Why don't you go ahead and introduce everybody?
Yeah, I'm Amber Juhl. Next to me, I've got Scott Kennedy. I have Ken Nelson, Lois Neiman, and Lissa Shergi.
Very nice. All right. And you guys, first of all, I think the first thing we should talk about is your special event that you have coming up. And I believe it's next Tuesday. Is that right?
Yep, next Tuesday, the 27th of September, from 3 to 6 p.m. here at our office at 1415 South Monroe Avenue. We're just going to have a nice little celebration to celebrate 75 years that we have been, around. So our official date is actually October 27th will be the actual day, but we're going to do it from 3 to 6 here in the parking lot. We're going to have some of our commissioners available, NRCS staff, FSA. To answer any questions that anybody will have. We'll have some refreshments. We're going to have some door prizes. We're going to have a painting that we're going to be giving away. So a bunch of fun things to do.
Wow. Is anybody on your board remember the first year?
Maybe close, but not quite.
Just curious. Yeah. Well, that'll be kind of fun then. So a little bit of everybody. You guys do this every year, this celebration?
We have not. This is actually going to be the first year we've done something like this. We do have some get-togethers and things pre-COVID, but
let's let the audience. So you're celebrating 75 years of service. So I think people need to know exactly what service are you talking about, other than the name, obviously, because there's a lot of things. You guys wear a lot of hats, actually.
We do, and actually, I'll pass this off to the commissioners and let them kind of give a little bit of a background of exactly what we do.
Okay. Who are we going to talk to first? Let's go to the guy in the hat.
Yeah, we'll talk to Scott here first.
Okay. What's your name, Scott?
Scott Kennedy.
Hey, Scott Kennedy. All right. Yeah. So why don't you talk about what you do?
Okay. This year I'm the chairperson for the Soil and Water Commissioners. I've been on the board 20 to 21 years. We review everything and for different programs that different people have, so we can help them out with different conservation projects that they do.
Okay, which probably involves quite a bit of different projects, I would think.
Yeah, a lot of CRP, wind breaks, filter strips, different farming practices that we can give a cost share to help people out with.
Sure. Do we ever have enough trees?
Never
have enough, do we? Never. Yeah, we can keep on. It's like Arbor Day every day. We should be, right?
Right.
Planting, exactly. All right. And how about next? Ken, we want to talk to you. What do you do?
I am the vice chair, and I am an active farmer, as Scott is. And our main principle is to push conservation, and we are kind of the middle folks for the state. State allocates money for different programs, and we are the middle people that help convey that and issue that to different farming practices for different farmers. Is basically we're just kind of the overseers for state money as it comes in.
Sure.
It's allocated every year. We get a certain dollars for certain programs.
Okay. And who's the woman next to you on your left? Who is she?
Well,
Yeah.
Lois.
Hello, Lois. And what do you do?
I'm just a member and I listen to these guys and they have lots of good ideas.
All right. And Lissa, what do you do?
I'm the district conservationist here in Cerro, Gordo County, and we kind of work together, work with the NRCS office, and we also, through the federal government, have programs, cost share assistance that's available. So we're kind of hoping that everybody will come see us on our anniversary party. And if they have any questions, we have applications, they can sign up.
So what do you think is going to be the main question on everybody's mind in 2022? What do you think? I don't care who takes the question. I'd rather just ask and then you guys just speak up.
Well, the first thing I'm starting to hear is people are starting to wonder about the new farm bill.
Okay. Talk about that a little bit.
How's that going to affect agriculture in general?
Yeah.
And it's too far out to make any assumptions yet, but that's what farmers are starting to think about.
Well, enlighten the people that are not farmers. What's it all about and why are they concerned?
They dictate different programs, functionality of those programs, subsidies for certain aspects of farming. The biggest right now is insurance. Our multi-peril insurance is subsidized by the government, basically because other countries are not allowed to subsidize their farmers. In the U.S., we're not supposed to be subsidized, but that's how the government gets around it. They subsidize our insurance. But it's practices that will be available, monies that will be available in the next fiscal package. They usually run, was it, Scott, about
5 years?
5 years. And it just kind of dictates what rules that we have to follow, kind of.
Right. And there's always more different rules each and every year. You know,
they're always coming up with different guidelines for us to follow.
Yeah. When will we find out what this farm bill is all about? If it
23 to 24.
Okay, 23, 24. Yeah, I had a thing. What do you guys think?
Next working Congress in January, they will start doing the lobbying and the committees to start that process will start right after the new Congress, after it's elected. They will start working on it.
This probably sounds like a loaded question, but what do you think is the biggest challenge when it comes to conservation today?
Money.
It's always the challenge.
But it costs a fortune to do the practices. Education. A lot of the practices will take some of your yield away for the first years. But when you let the ground go back into kind of a no-till natural state, as an example, if you give it time, the ground will actually do better on its own once you give it a chance to get back to a natural state.
Interesting.
So it's education and money.
It's kind of like humans with an immunity.
Exactly.
Let it kind of do its thing, you know? Nature has a way of doing that. That's for sure. Speaking of money, Amber, we talked a little bit on the phone earlier. You guys are obviously you're going to be, you need a new tractor. Is that right? Why don't you talk about that a little bit? Yeah, the new tractor.
Yeah.
The one you have it's an old one. I don't know how many years.
1974. Yeah. So the district is very much in need of a new tractor. Our old one, I guess, is kind of starting to nickel and dime us a little bit. So we kind of pulled the plug and ordered a 2022. We were hoping to have it for our party next week, but it sounds like it may be the end of the year before we get it now. So, but yeah, so we can't do what we do without the help of the community. So, you know, everything that they want us to help with, we kind of just, it circles back. So,
well, I think the biggest concern is people want to know. I think people are willing to help here in North Iowa. They just want to know what it's for and why you need stuff. So, you know, what are I mean, other than what we know what a tractor's for, seriously though, what are the duties? I mean, let's be simple here.
So ground that may be into CRP
Right.
needs to be. So we actually provide that service to the community. We obviously do charge for that, a fee for
Seating.
yeah, for the seating for the projects that it needs to be done for. Scott, what else do you want to?
We also use the tractor and we put in filter strips. We
Okay.
haven't done that in several years because the practices have changed. And then, yeah, between that and all the different CRP seedings that we can do, we go through and, try and get more conservation out there. And if we can help doing that by doing the seeding, because it's hard to find someone in the time periods they need because they're busy doing other farm chores.
Right. Is there one area
We
in
also
the
do
county?
seeding-
Oh, I'm sorry. Go, Ken. What did you say?
We also do seeding of waterways. That's one of our big goals is runoff and soil erosion. So we push waterways, and then we will help them do the seeding for that too.
Yeah. And Ken, I agree with you on the whole thing. I think it's just a lot of it is education. We have to constantly, remind people of what this is all about. And, and I don't know if there's really, unless you actually, look into it, I encourage you to go to the website where, for you radio listeners, podcast listeners, it's cerrogotoswcd.org. Go there and find more information. Or they even have a Facebook page, Cerro County Soil and Water Conservation District 2. Is there one part of the county that needs more help than any other?
I was also going to say that with our seeding for the different waterways and filter strips and the CRPs is we're working on a water quality that come back, to filter out all the chemicals and everything when it goes into the drainage districts.
Okay. I was going to mention too. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'd say this year, one of our big goals is working on the water quality throughout the state.
Exactly. And, and that's probably, I'll bet you one of the biggest misconceptions, speaking of money and donations and things like that. I think they think that you're totally funded by the state. And you guys have to raise your own money too, besides the state helping, right?
Correct. So our state money goes to help pay for the cost share side of the installation on some of this stuff, where what we do comes from donations. So like buying our tractor, there is no state funding for that. That is solely donation based.
Right.
So, yeah.
And to think we got 99 counties trying to help out the state, right? I don't know how many boards how many do you have total working for your board or the whole district for the county?
So, yep, we've got Scott Kennedy here. We've got Ken Nelson, Lois Neiman. We have Phil Doherty, Rebecca
many?
Higgins, and then our assistant commissioner is Mary Everhart.
Okay. So a half dozen, 7 in front of the whole thing. Cool. All right. And you guys are on Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 people, or volunteer all the time?
They volunteer all the time for us.
Very good.
We're not elected nonpartisan officials for the state.
Sure.
And for the county.
Okay.
And we have a meeting that's once a month on Wednesdays.
All right. And the public is invited to all this stuff?
It's open public forum.
Yep.
Okay.
It's usually the third Wednesday of every month at 1:00 here at our office.
Okay. Well, we encourage everybody to come on out next Tuesday. It's the 27th from 3 to 6 p.m. You guys are doing this on South Monroe, 1415 South Monroe. I'm trying to figure out where that is. It's down there. Well, we know it's past. Where's that?
All risk insurance. A lot of people will know where they're located.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, sure. Mason's
actually, we're just west of the old Sears parking lot on the other side of the section here.
Okay. Yeah. Well, as my good friend Dave would say, look for the big yellow sign.
We'll be here outside. Yeah. We'll have tents and tables set up.
All right. Awesome. Anything more you guys would like to add to this interview that would be beneficial to the public listening? or watching us right now. Just come on out, right? Ask your questions. You know, I know listening to the markets this morning, you farmers, Scott and Ken, I know they're really concerned about what's going on with Russia right now. And it'll be interesting to see how that all pans out as well. So in the meantime, hey, I was out driving around last night. It was outside the county, but I saw some bean fields that are very close to getting going here. Other ones are maybe trailing behind by a couple of weeks. I'm sure the 90-degree weather helped a little bit yesterday for a day. Otherwise,
you give it
what's
to
that?
next weekend, and
Next weekend?
next weekend it'll start getting crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. All right. Well, hopefully you'll be able to get in the fields here before the first frost comes here. Let's hope. I heard 38 tonight or 39 tonight. Are you? I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
Compared to 70 last night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It just up and down. This is fun little North Iowa weather, right? You never know. You never know. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much again. 75 years of service. Come on out and meet the commissioners, the NRCS, FSA staff as well. They'll all be on hand to answer any questions. It's on Tuesday, September 27th from 3 to 6, 1415 South Monroe. Basically, we're May City All Risk Insurance, which they advertise quite a bit with us. So we appreciate you guys being here and appreciate all the hard work you guys put in.
Thank you,
Thank
Harry.
you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
You got it very much. And